Hello and welcome back to Lesson 2, Video 2 of the Student Portfolio Project. In this project, we are going to set up some basic files, but also begin the work on the navigation menu for the entire project. So, let's make sure that you have your workflow set up. I have the GitHub portfolio in front of me right now, so have that tab open, and also have your Cloud9 IDE open as well. And I'm going to just move up the terminal a little bit for a clearer view, and I'm not sure where we left off. If by chance we left off with the terminal like so, then we need to change directory into the project itself. So I have only one folder in my environment that begins with an S, so I'm going to tab and autofill the rest, and voila, we are done. Now, if I pull down the drop-down menu on the left-hand side, you'll see one index, one HTML, one CSS, and one JavaScript. The navigation actually takes a little bit of work with CSS, so I'm going to create, using the touch command in Linux, I'm going to create a nav.css blank file. And that should come up on the left-hand side, and it does. Okay, so now let's clear that and bring down our terminal. All right, let's open up index. Double click that and open it up in the editor. Open up style and open up nav. So we've got 3 files open in the editor. In addition, I also keep that welcome screen as well. So let's head on back to index, and you may recall that when we started the last project, we could delete this entire doc type, and we could create a shortcut. If I hit Shift 1, it puts an exclamation mark on the page, and using Emmet technology that anticipates what some shortcuts for us in the IDE, if I hit Tab, it automatically populates a boilerplate structure for HTML. So that is what we want to start, and we are going to change the title to Aladdin's Portfolio. Make sure I've got that spelling right. Okay. And just recall that the HTML tag, it opens on 2, closes on 11, has 2 children. Head tag opens on 3, closes on 8, has most of the metadata for the project, or all of the metadata for the project. The only thing viewable in the head tag is the title, and that just happens to go up on the tab of a browser. So nothing in the body appears from the head tag. Metadata is simply information that is pertinent to the project, but not necessarily viewable. All right, body opens on 9, closes on 11, so that's where we want to begin our work. So I'm going to hit enter twice, and I'm going to type in NAV, and I want the nav snippet to come up, and it just creates the semantic tag for nav, for navigation, and I've got my open and close set up. Okay, now, inside of, remember attributes, class attributes go inside of the open tag, so put your cursor inside of the, just to the right of the V, and we want a space, and we want to type in class equals, and we want this to be class of navbar in quotes. Okay, so we're going to be changing this up a little bit. As we set up our HTML, we're going to actually be putting in some classes that in a project you probably would sketch this out and plan this out on paper, and then have an idea of groupings of classes that you would intentionally style with CSS. Okay, so next, inside of the nav tag, we're going to have one div tag with a class of logo. Close that opening tag. Now, oops, let me get out of the quotes and now close the tag, and notice now the div closing shows up, and we want the logo to also say Aladdin. That's that's going to be the logo on the left-hand side of the navigation. Now let me put some some comments in here. And right above the logo, I'm just going to indicate that line 12, any comment starts with an open tag exclamation dash dash, the comment itself, and then closing the comment dash dash, and then close tag. We're saying that next line is just for the logo. So let's actually do the same. I'm going to copy that, Control C, and I want to put that right above the navigation itself, and we're just going to title that with navigation menu. So this whole section from here down is the navigation menu, of which logo is the first child. Okay. Next, we want another. Well, actually, I've already got it in the clipboard. So I want another comment, and I had it already in the clipboard. So I'm going to type in hamburger toggle, and the structure underneath here is going to be just for that toggle, and we're going to open it up with a link, and it's going to be an A tag, and the href is going to be set equal to just the pound sign. It's a temporary hold. Okay, and we want that class also to equal toggle. Excuse me, toggle hyphen button. Okay, so we have the opening A tag, href of a whole, where a link would go basically, and then a class toggle button, all as attributes of this A tag or anchor tag. Close the tag, or close the opening tag, and then notice the closing tag comes up. I'm going to hit enter to create a space in between there. And what we're going to do right now is set up the structure for those 3 bars. So this is going to be done with a span, and we want the span snippet. And now inside of the opening tag for span, we want class equals and then bar. Okay, we are going to leave that blank, and we're going to style that. So what's going to happen here is this span will create a rectangle without content, but it will still allow us to style the rectangle itself. And that's going to be one of the bars. We're going to hit Control C, and I just want to copy that twice. Okay. On occasion, which is what I just did, and make sure you are hitting or typing in Control S, which is to save. And I'm just going to grab the comment again, and I'm going to move my cursor to the end of the A tag. I want a new section now, and this is going to be, I'm going to put in navigation links here. Okay. Actually, let me put in front page navigation links. So this is the comment for the next section now. Okay, and my cursor is going to be placed at the end of here, and we want a div with a class equal to navbar hyphen links. Now we want to close that tag out, so the greater than symbol, the div closing tag comes along with it. Please hit enter so we have some space here. Okay, now usually it's customary that the navigation menu is kind of like a link, only we're going to set it, instead of vertical, we'll set it horizontal at the top of the page. On the responsive view, we will set it vertical. If that's starting to jog your memory, yes, we're going to use and manipulate that with Flexbox. But right now, let's set the structure in. And the structure begins with an unordered list. So UL, open and close. And then we want an LI, a list item. And inside of the LI, so I want to move my cursor right in there. I'm going to open a tag with an href, whoops, equals, and again, the href is where we are going to put the page link, and this page is going to be index.html. And this is how we're going to navigate throughout the entire project or pages. All right, so I have the anchor tag, href equals index.html. I now need to close out that tag, and notice the a tag also closes behind it. All right, so inside of, or in between, right where my cursor is right now, in between the opening a tag, the anchor tag, that has the href as a class attribute, and inside between the closing tag, I want to actually put what we see on the screen. So this is going to be home. That's our home page. So index.html is home, and that should be everything we need for the first link. All right, so let's now get that into memory. Control C, move the cursor towards the end, and we're going to paste, enter, paste, enter, paste. So second one down, instead of index.html, we are going to have something called projects.html. Now, we haven't created that page yet. We will eventually, but right now we're just going to be setting this up. And then we're going to want a page for blog.html. And finally, about me.html. And notice about me is in lower camel case, A is lower, M is capitalized. Let's Control S and save that. And let's actually get some comments in here again I'm going to copy the logo one. Control C. And we want to just indicate some closings here. So at the UL close, I'm going to put close UL list. And then at the end of the next div, notice here, if I click on that closing div, it's navbar links. So I want to close navbar links class. And I'm going to hit enter one more time. And finally, notice when I click on the nav closing tag, that matches with the beginning. That's exactly what we want. The indentations are fine. Control V again, and we are going to type in here, close nav bar class. So that is, again, just a reminder of structure. The nav class is the parent container here, so there's an entire rectangle around that. Then the children of the navbar class is the logo. Then everything, all of the spans for the bar, and the navbar links. And then the navbar links has a child, which is an unordered list. That's what UL stands for. And the list items are the children of the unordered list. So that's how we've got everything closed up. This ends the structure of the actual navigation for the entire project. That's just the HTML structure. So in the next video, we're going to come on back and style this so that we could actually have the navigation work the way we want and not just look like it's on the, like it does on the screen. So I'm hesitating. So speaking of that, let's actually call that up and see what it looks like. And there it is. There's our logo. Oh, and guess what? Good thing I called that up. We've got something else to do here. We've got to change these items so home is not the same thing all the way through. So the second one down, change home to projects. Third one down, change to blog. This is the white text in between the anchor tag. And then the last one, about me with capitalization. I've got to spell about correctly. There we go. That looks a little better. Control S. And now if I refresh, this is the structure of the navigation. We have the, again, the Aladdin at the top and our 4 list items So clearly, it is not looking the way it did in the final project, but the HTML for the navigation is complete. In the next video, we will start lesson 3. We will start on that CSS. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.